So good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking the opportunity to spend some time with us this evening. First and foremost, I just want to thank all of our parents for the flexibility that you've shown and the grace that you've shown over what I know has been a very difficult and stressful few weeks. As we've said from the very beginning, our goal is to get our students back to in-person learning as soon as we possibly can. And so we're going to continue to work to try and make that happen. But as I know a lot of you saw over the course of the week this week, the governor has made a strong recommendations to school districts to not resume in-person learning until at least September the 28th. And so we're going to start the year in remote learning, which will be MTI 2.0. And we do want to let you know that our teachers are currently making plans, and our experience will be much better than it was in the spring, even though our teachers did a fantastic job in a very, very short turnaround. We know there's some areas that we can improve upon. We've made some commitment from the district level in terms of technology and additional training, and we can't wait to unleash that come the 26th when school is to open up. So I know a lot of you have some questions about what remote learning might look like. And what I would tell you is that you've got lots of information that's going to be coming out from your school sites that'll explain a little bit more about Chromebook rollouts, how to pick up your Chromebook and other supplies that you need, but also how the remote learning will be structured in each day and as soon as we'll log on and work through the programs. And so you'll be getting a lot of information, more information coming from your specific schools in the coming days if you haven't seen that already, so be on the lookout for that. One of the big questions that we knew would come up as a result of this was childcare issues. And fortunately for us, we've had a strong partnership with the local YMCA. And so we've been in contact with them really since this situation started to try and see what we could do to expand our childcare opportunities and programs to help get us to the time when we are able to welcome our students back into the buildings. And so we're excited to announce that we do have a plan for that. And we've invited Sharon from our YMCA branch here in Bullitt County to come and talk a little bit about that. If you haven't seen the link on the Facebook Live session, you can submit your questions, and we'll try to get to as many questions as we can. For those that we don't have answers to, we will flag those. We'll find answers, and we'll post those answers in our reopening guidance portion of our webpage. And so with that, Sharon, I'll turn it over to you and let you talk about a little bit about what the plan is moving forward. And then when we're finished, we'll read through the questions and see what we have to address after the session's over with.
Sure. Thank you so much for inviting us. Thank you for your partnership also. What we're going to actually do is remote learning support service for all BCPS students that are in kindergarten through middle school. We are going to have 4 locations throughout the county starting on August the 24th. Those locations are Crossroads, Pleasant Grove, Roby, and Freedom. We do offer care from 6 to 6, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. That is from 6 to 8:30. That would be for the Y time. And then instructional time, breakfast and lunch is included in that. And then the afternoon portion would just be back at the YMCA. So we are there to support and to help kids with whether it be the Chromebooks or packets or whatever they need in regards to their work. So we are very excited to help kiddos and parents to bridge that gap.
So we will look at some of our questions that have already come in and see maybe what some of the things that we can answer. First question is, will the students do their NCI work while at the YMCA?
Yes, they will. They will be in a classroom. Our expectations are that they would bring their Chromebook or their paperwork packets, whatever the school is providing, and that they would do that from bell time to bell time. So yes.
Okay. To what extent will you help students with NCI? We just talked about that. Fees, times of days, kids' ages, some of that have been talked about, but maybe we'll talk about the fee structure.
Yeah. The fee is going to be $150 for the week, and again, that is Monday through Friday. That would be 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Middle school age students, of course, we address.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Can our kids go part-time during the NTI program?
It is a 5-day program, so we're not doing any 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. It is a 5-day program.
Okay. Will people who registered early and canceled after choosing BCA get a refund?
That's a great question. If they're registered for the before and after school program, what we can do is we can cancel them out for the school year, and then when in-person learning comes back, we can put them back on with no registration fee. So it kind of be like a stop and go.
It says, what exactly are you offering and what it will be the rate? We've talked about that. Let's see. How do we register our daughter?
That's a great question. You would go to our webpage, which is YMCA Louisville Childcare.org, and look for Remote Learning Support Service, and it will take you through the steps to register. And if you get stuck, you can always call my office and we can help you with that.
Looks like how do you register if you're already enrolled in before and after childcare?
Yeah, if you're enrolled in before and after, you still need to go in there and register for the remote learning support service because it's a different program. The before and after school has kind of been put on hold for now because obviously we're not doing in person. So you do, even though you're registered for before and after, you still need to go back on that webpage and register.
Great. And looks like, let's see. So now this clarifying question is, are children enrolled in the after school program automatically enrolled? And you said no, that they need to go back in and read it.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
If my child was signed up for in-person learning, what's the protocol if school resumes in person before the after-school program? Will I get a notify if my school returns? So I guess the question is, once we open up, will we still be, is that when the after-school program will start?
Correct. It'll pick right back up. Mm-hmm.
Great.
And if something happens that we don't go back to school until, let's just say, December or January, everybody will not be charged that until those will be canceled out until we start.
Is there financial assistance for families via the Commonwealth grants or the YMCA?
There is financial assistance through our YMCA funding, and then there is, we do take 3Cs contracts. Those are great questions.
Is there a deadline to enroll?
There isn't a deadline to enroll, but we need to get as many people registered as soon as possible because we are going to have to cap those, considering that we might have to open another location.
Wait just a second to see if there are any other questions.
Yeah,
Can we go ahead?
yeah. I want to say that some of the requirements that masks are required. All kids will have to wear a mask. When they're outside or when they're in gym time, masks will come down, but kids will have to have masks on. Temperature checks will be done 4 times a day, so we'll take their temperature 4 times a day. If a child starts running a fever, obviously we'll have to have that child go home, and then we'll take the steps from there. Trying to think what else. They can bring a water bottle and a backpack with them, and it could be like a Walmart bottle or a Kroger bottle, and then we'll fill that up throughout the day because the water fountains are closed due to the state's guidelines. And then make sure they bring their Chromebook and their charger every day.
Is there a cap on the number of kids that you're going to be able to take?
Yes, according to our staffing and the location, yes, there will be. That's why everybody's got to get in there tonight and register.
One question about breakfast and lunch being provided, and we did cover that.
Yeah, breakfast is always paid by the Y, so you'll never pay for breakfast, and then lunch will be, and we talked about this earlier, if it is a school that has the free lunch program, then the kids would get a free lunch, but if it's not, then they would the parents would purchase it like they normally would.
One question says there used to be Y member rates, but if they were members in the past, will they have a lower rate?
There was never a Y member rate for the school year. That was just for the summer.
Okay.
So. So great questions.
Looks like that is, but we got a few more coming in. If we pay for a full week, is it okay if they just come 3 days that week?
It is. It is. The rate would not be adjusted, obviously, but they can attend just 3 days.
What happens if a child tests positive for COVID-19?
That's a great question. If a child does test positive, we will follow the directions of the Bullitt County Health Department on what steps to take.
All right. Looks like that is all of the questions that have come in to this point. So we'll go ahead and wrap this up. And if you'd like to continue to submit your questions, please feel free to do so. We'll get answers to the ones that we don't have tonight. We'll get answers to them as soon as we possibly can. And also the one question that was asked was, how can I watch this if you don't have a Facebook page or a Facebook account? We will be posting this also on our district YouTube page. And so you'll be able to find the video there as well. And so again, thank you all for joining in. If you have additional questions, feel free to use the form and we'll mark those and get answers to you as quickly as we can. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.